Wow. Can we talk about
Morning.
rearranging the intros in the little brand section? I was like, wait, that's not it. Wait, that's not it. Good morning. Welcome to the WikiTree LiveCast for Saturday, July, what's today? 6th?
6th.
Yeah, the 6th.
July 6th. But we're celebrating July the 4th this weekend. So,
Yes.
And we had a big party here at my house. We watched baseball. We had food. It was fun.
Nice.
I'm gonna throw it over immediately because we have a challenge on for Greg. And I can say hello to everybody after we get rid of Greg, you know.
After you get rid of me, yes.
Arsenic and Old Lace, we'll put him in a trunk under the window. Are you familiar with that movie, Arsenic and Old Lace?
It was a play, right?
It's one of my favorite movies. Cary Grant, yeah. Okay, so Greg has a challenge. Good morning.
That's right, yes.
LiveCast.
Yes, because I have to leave in about 15 minutes or so to go play for yet another funeral. So I'm going to go through. First of all, let me say last week's roundup was great, and it's Megs' fault that I stayed up till 1:30 last night watching it.
Disclaimer.
Yes, I knew all the answers in the Canadian trivia that they were stumbling over, like Blue Nose, but that's okay. That's okay. And I was very honored to be one of the honorary profiles at the end.
I was shocked. I loved it. I loved it.
Wild.
It blew me away.
So anyways, that was fun. And so thank you all. And thanks, Sandy, especially for your bit there. But let's dive into the profiles of this week. And Sandy did a great intro and talking about the connection checkers game and finding which person you're most connected to. And you know, that ends up helping clean up your own part of the tree. I'm not going to talk about that because she already did. So we'll do fine. We're just going to go through each of them. And because I knew I had limited time, I've actually made notes. So I won't ramble, but I'm just going to pick up some of the highlights.
Back of envelopes so that they would be small.
They'd be small, exactly. So I would be limited in how much I could write. So we will start with John Hancock III, who's a distant cousin. It's amazing. I'm actually a distant cousin to a number of these people, which is surprising. Anyways, he's a governor and the signer, the very first signer of the Declaration of Independence. And actually, as part of my the Canadian trying to learn about American history, I did have to go back and research a little bit to remind myself of some of the details that you guys probably already know. But the Boston Massacre, which was one of the things that really stirred up the colonists, happened in 1770. Then the Boston Tea Party, which happened in 1773, and that was organized by the Sons of Liberty. And then, of course, July 4th, 1776, it was when the Declaration of Independence was signed. And though actually, no, it wasn't signed that day. I found out this cool little website here, which I'll put there, which gives you a whole bunch of information about the 4th of July, which you can read, but I read and I found it very interesting. But it was the July 4th, turns out to be when the final wording and that fancy document was actually scribed and everything. So that's what we celebrate. You celebrate. I celebrate on your behalf. Anyways, so the first signer, and of course, the first thing I had to say, well, if he's the first signer, how come his picture isn't here? Where's the signature? But it's embedded right in the profile. There you go. There's the John Hancock. Yay. So very cool. And we'll move on.
And Greg, do you know the thing that we say is when you want to sign something, would you put your John Hancock
put your John Hancock there? Yes. Yeah, that's right. It's synonymous with the word signature. Yeah, just put on your John
Hancock. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's probably not a phrase you use in Chile.
No, of course not.
Put your John Hancock here.
Put your Juan Hancock. Juan. Yeah.
Yeah, Juan.
But no, I've heard that phrase. We use it here sometimes, but obviously it makes more sense for you. Francis Dana is the next person on the list, and he was a leader of the Sons of Liberty. So that was the group that was involved in the Boston Tea Party. He was also an American minister. Let's see, he was of course he was an opponent of the British colonial policy, and he was part of the Massachusetts Congress, the Continental Congress. So that the Continental Congress was the body that actually drafted and made up of the 13 original colonies that put forward the Declaration of Independence and stuff. So, and then he became a member, it was a charter member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, which is a very impressive sounding organization. And at first I thought, wow, the Oscars were back then, but that's a different arts and sciences. So it's not the same. So moving on, Bernardo de Gavaz, who was born in Matrillaya, Malaga, España. And so he was born in Spain. His full name is Vicente Apolinar Bernardo de Galvez Gallardo y Arteaga.
Did he do okay? Did he do
Yeah.
Okay?
90%.
90%. Now I use the Vicente because he was born in Spain and not in Mexico.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I forgot you were going to be here, Vicki, so I may have been more nervous about saying this.
Okay. Let's see.
But eventually, then he was stationed in Nueva España, and in the North America, and he married a Louisiana Creole woman, Marie Félicite Marsan d'Astaron, who was a widow, and so he was there during the War of Independence, and one of his biggest feat was that even though he was the governor of New Spain, he actually he let the Mississippi opened it up so that the revolutionary troops could go up there when the East Coast was blockaded by the British ships. And so that was a strategic thing that helped out with the success of the war. And because of that, he was made an honorary citizen. One of the very few who were conferred honorary citizenship as a hero of the Revolutionary War.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, after the war was over, he was then posted as governor of Cuba. Dr. William Fouché was born in Virginia, and just look at the key facts here about his life. He was a prominent physician in Richmond, Virginia, involved in local and state politics, interacted with many of the major figures in the founding of America, including Washington and others, Adams and Jefferson, all that. He served as Richmond's first mayor, was highly respected for his medical skills, honorable public service. He was known for his charming bedside manner and popularity among women patients.
Oh.
He played a key role in a massive smallpox inoculation campaign that saved thousands of lives, and was one of the doctors who performed the autopsy on Judge George Wythe and involved in a subsequent murder trial. So my only question after reading this about the profile is, how come this is not a TV series? How come there isn't a show about him?
Really?
Like, doesn't that's enough for at least 4 seasons worth?
Yeah.
Anyways, if you read further on in the profile, there's an interesting part here about life and times. And when it gets down to here about the middle of the thing, there's something that I can't read to make this, because this is family friendly, but it's kind of gruesome. And anyways, but read about it. Come back later. I'm not going to tell you about it now, but I'm just going to say there's some cool stuff there and kind of gruesome. Alexander Hamilton. Many people know of Alexander Hamilton because of the famous musical, of course. And reading through his profile, the facts from the musical and the facts on the profile are pretty, they've got the broad strokes are there.
You don't think there was a lot of artistic license in that?
There was some artistic license taken, but some of the broad, he came from the British West Indies, and he was brilliant. He went to school, was smart in finance, became the treasurer and whatnot. And of course, he did fight Aaron Burr and then die in that famous duel. One thing, there's the profile is really well done and gives lots of detail about that. One of the interesting things, though, is now it doesn't say that he carried out his life singing rap, but it does claim that a week before the duel, because they had to schedule the duel, so a week before the duel, he was at a meeting where Aaron Burr also was, and he did sing a song which got Burr really upset. Now, whether he sang it in rap or not, that's not included in the profile.
Okay.
And it also said that he wrote a letter just before the duel explaining his decision to participate in the duel and at the same time intending to throw away his shot. And in fact, during the duel, he actually missed Aaron Burr. So whether that was on purpose or whether that was his intention from the get-go, who knows? But and that line was actually was used in one of the songs. So cool. Jean-Francois Hamtrak, Captain Jean-Francois, born in Quebec City. His father was German. His mother was French Canadian. Born in Quebec City in the province of Canada in Nouvelle France. So back then, all of the part that was north of the current New US, and in fact, some of what is currently US was just called Nouvelle France, but they had different sections. There was Canada, there was Acadie, which Roberto Estes talked a lot about last week with some really amazing information. But he was born there in 1756. And he was recognized by the Continental Congress for his service to the Continental Army. So even though he was Canadian, French Canadian, he actually joined the Continental Army and fought on behalf of the revolutionaries. And then eventually did end up living in the States. And in fact, there's a place in Michigan with his last name, Hamtramck, Michigan, is named in his honor.
Wow.
John Marshall, born in Germantown, Prince William County, 4th Chief Justice of the United States of America, also Secretary of State. And okay, so now I have to, so as Chief Justice, one of the things that he was, one of the primary things that he was influential about was the theory of judicial review, the process that empowers the Supreme Court as the final authority over actions of the other parts of the government. Mm-hmm. Then we have George Mason IV, who wrote the American Manifestation of the Enlightenment. So, a bit of a philosopher here. All men are born equally and free and independent and have certain inherent natural rights. Among them, enjoyment of life, liberty, and the means of acquiring and possessing property, pursue and obtain happiness and safety. That's from the Virginia Declaration of Rights. It seems like there's some overlap, isn't there, of other documents. This line here stood out to me. No point is more important than that of the right of impeachment. Interesting. Shall any man be above justice, even those who can commit the most extensive injustice? I thought that is a very interesting point and a salient one these days. Mm-hmm. And I will just leave that. We'll move on to Gershom Mendes Seixas, who was born in Rhode Island, and he's the first native-born Jewish religious leader in the United States who was a founding father. If we look at his ancestry here, you'll see that his paternal line is all Portuguese. His father was born in Lisbon, Portugal, and then goes all the way back. So look at that. It goes back to 1610, about 1599. Like, that's pretty cool that they can get records that far back. And then his mother's side is the Jewish side, Levi, Moses, Isaac, and so on. So he and his brother were involved in events. They welcomed George Washington as the nation's first president. And he often called on God in his sermons to bless the revolution in the Congress. Then we have Robert Morris, born in Liverpool, who became a U.S. Senator, Class 3. We talked about the classes of senators a while back, and that basically was sort of the term you served in terms of the when your election was going to come up next. So it doesn't mean that you were, not as important as the first class. It was just a matter of, whether you were elected in the even years or the odd years or something, that sort of idea.
Okay.
And he was a financier, a master financier.
Did Chris just send you a text?
I don't know.
I was wondering what the laughter was about. Chris is timing you. He's like putting up notes here for us to post. I've been posting
Okay, I'm
them.
not even looking at that. I don't have Discord open. I'm just.
I just figured that you laughed because Chris Ferriello had sent you a note. That's
oh no!
I had to.
And now Anne is 3 more. Greg, go.
go. That's good.
Go.
So he was a financier, and this is interesting. His firm profited handsomely from the sale of munitions to the Continental Army, but he did so fairly, and he acted within the ethical standards of his time. So, you know, in some people might call him being a war profiteer, but you know, he acted within the mores and the restrictions of his time. So, you know, he did what any other one would do. So I thought that was an interesting thing that jumped out at me. Oh, there's John Hancock, and then if you look down, you can see his signature. Look at how much bigger John's is to everyone else. Yep. He did not obviously have a good a spatial sense. You know, there's what, I don't know how many of us in the room. You should divide the page up.
He did it on purpose, and I think he actually said something when he signed it about his name would be known.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Sybil Luddington, who married Edward Ogden. She's the only woman in our profiles of the week, but boy, they picked a great one because she is basically the female Paul Revere, but better and younger. So she's most famous because she was known for, she rode her horse to alert the colonial forces that the British forces were advancing. The colonial forces were under the control of her father, the colonial force, Colonel Henry Luddington, and the British troops are planning to invade Connecticut. She rode over 40 miles in the woods at night when she was only 16 years old.
Wow.
16 years old, 40 miles in the woods at night. So kudos. That's very impressive. So she may be the most impressive of the profiles of the week. And then the final profile of the week is some guy named George Washington, famous for naming a bridge and a song based on the children's song about George Washington Bridge, but other things, of course. Obviously, your first president of the United States. He was born in Pope's Creek. I think that's the coolest thing. The little place was called Pope's Creek. That appealed to me as I go off to play in a Roman Catholic church. And the other thing that the profile is very fulsome and details a lot of his life, which all of you guys know much more than I do. So I'm not going to talk about that. But the thing that I thought was cool was that his early life, he was homeschooled by his father and older brother, and he was self-taught. He was self-taught a woodsman and a surveyor and a cartographer. And that experience is so he learned the terrain around Virginia. And I think that really served him well militarily during the war because of making those decisions. So there's lots more to say about him, and I'll let you guys talk about that after I leave. But I do have to go now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you very much. That was pretty darn good. You're 4 minutes over.
Oh, but 4 minutes is pretty.
Technically, you started like at 4 minutes after, so I think you're.
I was bang on.
Yeah, you're not bad. So, have a good service and play very well, which I know you always do and will.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Greg.
in.
See you.
Bye, Greg.
Yeah, see you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Now that Greg's gone, let's talk.
Now we can see.
So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to say good morning to everybody. Sorry we're late. This is the WikiTree LiveCast. We're 20 minutes in, and it's time to say Azure was the first person in this morning. Does Azure can Azure get the Winky button? I don't know.
No.
I think she should get more than a Winky button. She does lots of work. So Ozzy technically was the first person in, but Vicki Blanco's here. There she is. She was hanging out in the chat.
Me.
Vicki's like, who's Vicki Blanco?
Who's that girl?
Let's see. Lynette Jester is here from the desert. It's 118 degrees where she is. Audrey Martin's here. Hey, Audrey. Let's see. I already said Lynette Jester and Fiordolisi. Getting better every week. Let's go on down. Margaret Toll is here. Lots of people chatting. Victor is here. 8 p.m. 17 from Melbourne, Australia. Let's see. Mary Sleppy. Hey, Mary. Oh, Mary, I'm going to tell a story about our hunts right now, right in the middle of this. So my hunt in my hunt in Bedford County, Virginia was a loyalist during the Revolution, was jailed. But I actually, Doug Hunt has done a whole bunch of research on our hunts. And I actually was reading through it because of July 4th. I was reading through his research. And he has written up a really cool thing about why it was that my loyalist ancestor was actually imprisoned. And I found something very interesting. He says what happened was there was this huge thing to disrupt the lead mines, because leads were very important to the Revolution because they needed to make bullets or shot, you want to call it. So he and a whole group of other people from Bedford were going to attack these lead mines so that they weren't a profitable thing for the Continental Line. Well, I'm reading this and I'm all of a sudden thinking about his son. Now, a lot of his sons fought the Revolution, but I'm remembering reading in his son's information in his Continental Line, what do you call it? When he filed for a pension, his pension application, that he was a guard at the mines where his father was going to attack. And I'm wondering, was that an inside job that was going to happen? I mean, they foiled it before it happened, but his son actually has that listed in his information that he was a guard at those mines. So Mary Sleppy, we've got an ancestor who may have, we don't know. It's an interesting story. Now I've got a new mystery. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, Anne, let's see. Ozzy G. Stutz is here. Susie Carter's here. Crystal J. Let's go on down. Donna Gerber's here. Patricia Jackson. Hello. Chris Wine. Lisa Gervais. Hey, Yoke. John Tyner. Hey, John. We missed you last week. We even said,
hi, John.
We were wondering where you were. Let's see. Christine Miller. Willadine. Hey, Willadine. And have I got everybody? It's a long way to go to get done with this. Woo, doggy. All right. So I think Sandy Paddock came in with biscuits. I'm sorry that she can't push them through the monitor to me. So there we go. That's good enough. You guys, if you watch us later, upvote us then. If you watch us now, upvote us. Give us an upvote. We love having upvotes. I noticed that a lot of people appear to be on vacation. That's okay. That's all right. You guys go ahead. Hey, Sukarar. And I'm going to go through the question of the week, which is an interesting question of the week this week. Do you know why, Vicki?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's about the connection to America's founding fathers, which we were just learning about, and I was popping up all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. Did you look to see if you had any connections, Vicki?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, my closest is George Washington.
And how far?
But I noticed everyone 19 degrees. I noticed everyone said the closest was George. Could that be because he has more relevance and he has,
or maybe he's been created better?
Yeah.
I was not the closest to George. I was the closest to John Marshall, but George is a cousin. John Marshall is like a first cousin. Yeah. George Washington was number 3 for me. I think, what do you guys think? I think it's because that we've worked so hard maybe on George Washington.
To connect to him. Yeah. And actually, I'm as a Latin American, I have many Spanish ancestors, but Bernardo de Galvez is one of my more distant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's strange.
That's cool. I'm not going to spill the beans for Miss Vicki Blanco, but she was telling me a crazy cool story about some fun research she's done this past week. And I hope that in the future she can blog about it or tell us the whole story. It's just incredible. And congratulations on your good research and your use of WikiTree for that. So that's fun. Moving back to where were we? We were talking about the question of the week. So apparently a lot of people who were answering the question of the week didn't know where to find the information. So I'm going to show you. So if you go to, you can answer Facebook or go to the image, click on that and answer there. But check your connections. I think that people probably skip this. And this takes you to the category American Founding Fathers, which gives you the category of the signers of the articles and stuff like that. But there's a really cool thing over here, the WikiTree Genealogy Guide to Founding Fathers. Let's see. There we go. Which I thought was great. That gives you a list of everything you can see, gives you some of the information. But the signers of the article, declaration, the convention delegates, the delegates who left without signing, who are those people? But they don't say where they're from. That's interesting. So I guess those were the loyalists, like my 7th great grandfather, 8th great grandfather. And then the convention delegates who refused to sign. I've never seen a list of that except here. So that's pretty cool. Ethan Allen, Richard Allen. So they've got all this stuff. So that's really cool to find that information. The other thing that I found that I wish I'd have found before was we have postcards people can send out for the 4th of July. Betsy Ross is in there. The Cradle of Liberty and an antique. These are all antique cards. So that's cool. And I really don't think that's what Betsy Ross looked like. Do you think she was blonde with perfect curls?
I have no idea.
We don't know.
Or that clean.
Yeah.
You know.
And then down here, there's Independence Hall. There, you could send a card to a friend that has the July 4th Declaration of Independence, and there's John Hancock there.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the Federalist, a collection of essays. Anyway, that's fun. So there was that stuff, and that guide. So that guide really got me into the question of the week and got me looking at it. So make sure you upvote these when you go to G2G. Give Aon a bit of love for doing the work of getting it posted. But I'm assuming you mean the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And so Anonymous Reed throws up these 4 for them. Then Shonda's helping. No, they mean the Founding Fathers. That means everybody. So going on down, we've got Richard Ameling saying, I didn't know there were so many Founding Fathers, because he did find the information. So that's cool. And then, oh my goodness, we've got somebody down here giving us a list. How cool is that? Wow. Benjamin Franklin. And I didn't see Benjamin Franklin in that. I'm surprised Benjamin Franklin wasn't up in the profile of the week. Jennifer Robbins did this. And Jennifer Robbins, you rock. Thank you so much for giving me a starting list. So that's fun. That even though some of the people couldn't figure out where to go to find that, they did, because other people were giving them great lists, like Jennifer Robbins. How collaborative is that? Really? That's pretty collaborative.
Super. WikiTree level collaboration.
Yeah. My closest 2 on the list are John Adams and Friedrich William Baron von Steuben, both of whom are 3rd cousins from Roger Stong. Goes through and gives a little bit more. Thomas Jefferson, 11th cousin for J.C. Shepherd. So, and another nice list. Chief Justice John Jay through my wife. I like those connections. I call those A.J. Jacobs connections, you know. Out of the Founding Fathers, A.J. Jacobs had a post regarding his knowledge of living constitutionally for the past year that has gone viral. So if you want to check that out. Out of the Founding
He gave a lecture. He gave a lecture last year. He gave a lecture for us last year.
Oh yeah.
Am I okay?
Yes. A.J. Jacobs is a great friend of WikiTree. When he did his Global Family Reunion, his book about genealogy, we were a part of his book. Aowen was leading the information, mix between the whole team was involved, volunteers involved. WikiTree had a booth at the Global Family Reunion. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
all because of AJ. And here's somebody who actually said, okay, well, I'm going to list it by the Declaration of Independence, say these are the people. And that's K. Smith, AK. Then, yep, we do. John Adams, third cousin. Quincy Adams, Sam Adams, third cousin. George Washington, and this is Carol Baldwin. Instead of doing a list, she actually gave us a little information as well. Throughout the journey of WikiTree rabbit hole, I've discovered founders Governor Stephen Hopkins, John Aslop, George Frost to be second cousins of mine, and then Chief Justice John Marshall. So that's cool. I was really
Second
interested.
cousins.
What's that, Vicki?
Second cousins. Is that too close? Is it okay?
What's that?
To be second cousins with them?
Yeah, you could be first cousin and then have it be 4 times removed based on the generational difference. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, is she okay? I was looking in the comments to see if somebody had an issue. Wow, great if her closest is Sybil Ogden. Yeah, so T. Stanton. So there's a bunch of great information in the list that people are putting up in their information. Go over and check it out. Give some love to those posts by giving the upvote. And that is the question of the week. Are you related to any of the founding fathers? So, yeah. That's fun.
Great. That's fun. Super fun. I am distantly related to someone who signed the Declaration, I guess. Someone named Carroll. He was an Irish immigrant.
In the founding fathers? Let me see. Let me go over to the list.
I guess it's the Declaration.
Let me look real quick. Carroll, Carrol.
Yeah. Or maybe another document.
Yes, Daniel Carroll.
Yeah.
He was the 6th person to sign the Declaration of Independence. He was from, let me share my screen. He was from Upper Marlboro, Prince George's County. He's my 7th cousin, 8 times removed. Have we ever checked to see if we're related, Vicki?
No, we haven't.
Let's see. Rock Creek, Maryland. Nice. He doesn't look like me. He must be looking like you. I think he looks more like you than he does me. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to work on that branch of my ancestry to connect to him. I'm not sure if I'm connected.
All right.
It's Carol 2440. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Carol 2440. Okay.
We'll wait until you get it done. You can.
No, I'm not. I'm 22 degrees away from him.
22 degrees. Cool.
Yeah. So do you think it's time I share my screen?
I think it's time. You need to bring it up,
yeah,
and then I'll add it to the.
Let's go.
Dun, dun,
So
dun,
I'll share
dun,
the whole screen.
Dun,
Wait for the mirror.
There you go. Perfect.
So are you seeing Daniel Carroll?
I am.
Yeah, we're connected like 22 degrees, but no connection.
Like
no related. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here in the 12 months of photos? This month we're going for military, police, and firefighters. I thought that Sandy was going to be here, so she would tell us all about her dad. She posted this photo. I didn't want to post anything else. I wanted to make this the only profile because this is the only one we have yet. So
Sandy,
post your
Sandy,
ancestors.
if you want to jump in, please do.
Sandy, please honor your father with these beautiful photos. She says her dad was the three of them: military, police, and an army reservist. He was a police sergeant with the Prince George's County, Maryland. He protected those under him and dearly wanted safe places for all the neighborhood kids to play. And Sandy says he would often pick her up from the school in his squad car. And she says she really thought she was the bee's knees. Could you please explain what? Yeah, what does it mean? Please explain that to me.
I don't think bees actually have knees. Do they?
No, I think they do. They
the
have
bee's
legs.
knees means the cream of the crop, the top of the cake, the frosting, everything good. The bee's knees.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And then he became chief of police in Buchanan, West Virginia. He was a volunteer fireman in Western West Virginia, and along with her grandfather, they started a fire station in Walkersville, West Virginia, after too many homes were destroyed by a fire. That's awesome. And we can see this is Sandy's father. I'm sorry, where's his name? Oh, Sandy, you didn't write the name. Should we go look?
Sure.
Are you in? She's in the chat. Please tell us his name.
She's supposed to be in the chat, but I told her to jump in.
Yes, she was. So here's her dad as a policeman, I guess. And this is the fire station, I guess, or no? Oh no, it's this volunteer.
That's
fire
the volunteer
department.
fire department. Yeah. And those firefighters are firefighters nonetheless. They are.
And that's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful picture of him.
I'm looking to see if she looks like him. I see.
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah,
she has something. Yeah, I looked for that too. Yeah, it's kind of the shape of the face, the cheeks.
Yep.
Yeah, and the chin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being my mother, my real mother? She drove muscle cars. So in the 70s, we had a Challenger that was souped up and crazy. And so when I got picked up in school with that car, I felt like the bee's knees a bit because my tiny little mother was driving a muscle car.
Wow. Great. And well, that is our only profile in the photos of July. So post your military, police, and firefighter ancestors. I do have some. You know what? I wanted to post. I have these photos of cousins of my great grandfather, but I don't know who are they. Do you think there is a place other than Google where we can look for photos of lost ancestors and someone could identify and say, hey, this is a German profile, this person is from this range of years?
The Genealogy Squad, I think, did that, but there's probably some Facebook groups who do that as well. You guys, if you know some, throw some up. But I think the Genealogy Squad, you can ask for that. It's a Facebook group. Yeah, called the Genealogy
Where they have some
Squad.
kind where you can post
throw
photos?
the picture up and ask for if anybody knows the date, the timing of the photograph, or the location based on the attire. Do you have the picture that you can share with us so we can see if we can?
Oh no, I have it in my phone. So
all right.
No. But for next week, I'll post it.
All right.
All right. Now let's see. Do you think we could celebrate?
Here we go. This is a fun name. Dead Fred is a place to post photos for identification.
Okay, let me write that down. Dead Fred. Okay, not so very friendly.
That's fun though. That's a fun name.
Yeah, like John Doe. Dead John Doe.
I think Dead Fred is an obscure commentary from a movie or something. I've forgotten which. Crystal Ferriello and Ancestry to search any name. Oh yeah, Ancestry does have a name thing where they give you demographics about names and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen that feature. I guess MyHeritage has it too. It provides a range of years, just that.
Right, and how many
I'm not sure
if they lived, and
if it is the same.
Drop Dead Fred was a movie. I knew there was something.
Okay, so that's the origin. Well, let's celebrate our ancestors connected to July.
Wait, we got another one for you. Here we go, Vicki. Forebears.io.
Forebears.
Forebears.
Okay, thank you, Ash. You're the best. I knew we could get some good info.
Yeah.
Here's the place. Okay, so I'm sorry, I went back. So, first of all, we have to celebrate Kristen Anderson. Kristen is having her birthday this month, and she says, well, I was born in July, but I doubt that counts. No, you count, of course. You're our first WikiTree, and you're the source of all these profiles. So, of course, happy birthday. And she wants to celebrate her great-grandmother, Helen Williams, and she was born in 1909, and she was married 3 days before her birthday. So she has a double celebration in July. And Kristen says that the special thing about her is that she's one of her few ancestors which she has photos for her during different stages. So let's see.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's not her. That's not
okay.
Her. No, this is Helen Beryl Williams. And this is a wonderful profile. These are the kind of profiles that you can build if you join the Profile Makeover Challenge. We're starting the month, so join the challenge and you can learn to do all these beautiful things like posting pictures to a profile, having your sources well formatted, putting research notes. This is amazing. This is something that you can do and you can learn by joining our challenge. Okay. And let's see those pictures. Here she is, Helen as a baby girl. Beautiful picture.
Look at that nose.
And yeah, and that haircut. You see?
Yeah, I had that haircut.
Awesome. You did?
Yeah, and I was born a few decades later.
Well, now it's getting, fashion to the haircut. And this is her marriage. This is her wedding day, and we can see the husband, and I guess these are her parents. This
and
is
a little sister, maybe?
My conclusion. I don't know, maybe a cousin. In weddings they use the children of the family to carry the flowers, the rings.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. She doesn't say. And then we have the same group, I guess, as parents. Here is a graduation day. We don't know who is graduating, but they are, to the right is Helen and her husband, and you can see them here. And I guess the parents are the same in the photo. What do you think, Max? The same to the left.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Older, younger.
I think so, yes.
Yeah? Yeah. So these are the 3 stages of Helen's life.
Nice.
In photographs. And now we'll have this hat. Who do you think has this kind of hats every week?
Well, somebody in mourning.
Well, yeah, maybe. because she's dressed in black. But no, Alexis Nelson. She always has the most amazing photographs for us.
Alexis has
And
great photographs.
Yeah, and I think she's I don't know, a collector of photos of really stunning hats, because she has already
So is
showed
that
us
a
pictures
bird on top? What is
with
that?
amazing hats. It's a statue. I'm not sure, but we see a lot of feathers. Yeah. Well, this is her first cousin, 3 times removed, Idonna Bell Cochran. She was born 1869, and she was married 3 times. And her hat is fabulous. Yes, yes, it is. And she's gorgeous too.
She is
Beautiful picture. Yeah. And who else do we have next? Oh, Brunette Lesage Ray, and she was great aunt of Anne Fiordalisi, who's in the chat.
Which you can roll that right off your lips. I can't do that. Fiordalisi. There we go.
Oh, Fiordalisi. Yeah, you did it. Yeah. I think it's easier for me because Fiordalisi is Italian and it's a Latin language.
Yep.
So it's the same. So, and I'm sorry you have no picture for Brunette, but she was born the 10th of July in 1905. And soon it would have been I didn't see the date, but Chris Wine would be celebrating Teresa's birthday. She passed away a few years ago, but he shares a beautiful, happy story about her mother. Her mother loved some kind of cake that maybe you know, and maybe you could help. Let's see, this is a beautiful photo of her wedding day. So we celebrate Joan, and he tells us a great story. Her favorite cake was the Dairy Queen ice cream cake.
Oh,
do you
fun.
happen to know that?
Yeah.
I love ice cream cake, but of course I haven't had this.
The Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is like a fast food restaurant, but they're famous for their ice cream and their cakes and stuff. Yes.
Oh yeah, great. Well, she was in a nursing home, I guess, and they brought 2 big cakes for all the people in the nursing home for her birthday, and they would have enough left over for the next day. But the next day they wouldn't find the cake. So everyone was mad, thinking that the ladies there, the staff, had stole the cake. So they started to look for, and they went in the kitchen and the freezers, and they found the cake. So it was a triumph for them, and they could eat cake for the second
day. You went looking for a cake that was missing. You couldn't look in people's tummies, though.
No, and you shouldn't. Don't do that.
Don't look in people's tummies.
No. So these are our profiles for
Anne Fiordalisi
by now.
That you go back to the profile and check the WikiTree profile. There might be a picture there.
Okay. I saw it earlier, but I found no picture. Okay. No, sorry. There's no picture.
Great.
See, Anne, you should join the Profile Makeover Challenge, and then you can learn how to post a photo. No, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But no photo. Maybe you thought you uploaded it. It's not here.
I have
we're sorry.
I have important people for June or July. My dad's birthday and my son Ben's birthday is July the 11th.
Wow, a lot of important celebrations. Okay, so that's about it for this week.
photos of the week and everything. Okay, great. And I don't know about you guys, but Vicky's starting to be like a real host around here. I'm just saying, she's doing a great job. Thank you so much for being here, Vicky, and covering for our buddy Betsy. I need to make up a story for Betsy. Betsy is doing volunteer work as a flautist. She marched in the 4th of July parades, and that's what she was doing this weekend. She's marching in parades, playing her flute. There we go. That's what I'm going to make up.
And next weekend, what is she?
I don't know. I'll think of something.
She volunteer.
She's doing something great.
Yeah, well, because I will be next week too, covering for Betsy.
Yeah, she's actually, Vicky's going to be here all month.
Yeah, well, I feel comfortable. I'll stay here.
You'll stay here
all month.
We're glad.
Yeah.
We're glad. That is the fun, most cutest thing I've ever heard. I'm comfortable. I'll stay. I like that. I'm going to start saying that.
Okay.
So we've got some new stuff coming up. What do you think about the new page design? I mentioned that last week, but I didn't go look at it because we were out of time. But we want to go here. Let's check it out. It's simpler, cleaner, interesting. The font, the categories are different. The font is different. The color scheme is the exact same, which is good. So yeah, it's clean. It's very clean.
It's easy to read.
It's easy to read. It is.
Yeah,
But I love this. He posts this comment. Now, I don't know this is all the times it's been accessed because they were checking their work, but 450,385 times. Wow. That's crazy. You want to know how many people are active on WikiTree in a given time frame? Look at that number. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. There you go, Chris.
No, you should say Fiordalisi.
Yeah, Fiordalisi. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the page design you can look at, give it an upvote, make those numbers climb. The 2024 Connect-a-thon is coming up the weekend of the 19th, 20th, 27th. And she's connecting. We got to get that going on. There we go.
Ready to connect.
She's got her Connect-a-thon t-shirt on. I will not be here. It will be my first time not being a part of a Connect-a-thon or a thon. So if you haven't registered, get your stuff in. The WikiTree Challenge 10 is Lisa Louise Cook. There you go. And then you can play connection checkers for Canada Day. That's kind of done. So we're moving on. What's happening around WikiTree for 2024. And this is the week of the July 6th. And you see what's happening right now, the roundup. The Saturday sourcing sprint's ongoing. The Saturday roundup is good. Question of the week will be coming up. 52 ancestors. Thank you, Amy Johnson Crow. Data Doctors Challenge, Connection Checkers. Watch List Weevil Challenge. The WikiTree Challenge 9 Reveal, which is Thomas McKenty, correct? And then the WikiTree Challenge 10 starts that next week. So check those out. Now, if you've ever wondered how to find, let's go up to this test. Go up to the WikiTree information, and you want to go down to find. I wonder if it's going to show me in the new style. If I go down to projects, I pull up projects. No, it's the old style there. I want to scroll down past the themed projects to the functional projects to the ambassadors project, those people who help get the word out about WikiTree. And I'm going to click on ambassadors, going to open that up and scroll down here. There's a second navigation bar. We want to go to social media, pull that up. So if you've got social media accounts and you have the ability to share WikiTree links and information, we'll go to week of Sunday, July 7th. You'll see that there's the Lisa Louise Cook actual image. You can take that and share it. But we've also got some other stuff going on and you can share with Facebook, X, Mastodon, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. Woohoo! The cemetery spotlight for this week is Reformed Dutch Church Cemetery. No question of the week yet. That'll come up tomorrow probably. The One Name Tuesday, Zop. That sounds like a fun name to work on. The Connection Checkers on Tuesday. You can share links for that information. The Connect-a-thon is, One Place Wednesday. I don't have the One Place Wednesday listed. Oh, I always like seeing who they're talking about.
Not yet.
Not yet. The event showcase, the Connect-a-thon is coming up.
Yay.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Spotlight is on Friday. I don't see a date night or bingo listed, so I'm assuming it's Friday date night with Julie.
Bingo was yesterday.
That was yesterday, so it's bingo again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Or maybe they're adding the Hall of Fame. That's okay. The spotlight. Whoop. There, I brought that up. And then you can come back and see us again next Saturday. So let's see. The time is 10:56. We've got 4 minutes left. Bingo has been paused, is what we hear. And I did notice that there was a comment up here for you. You might want to check the comments for Maureen. There we go. Maureen Trotter is she's a photo detective. She's on Facebook and YouTube, so she
I've seen her.
help you with that. Look at how
I saw
collaborative
her. I saw her last year. She was in our symposium. Was she? Maureen?
I don't remember.
Max? Yes, I guess she was the photo detective. I remember her.
Great.
You threw a tip of the week, Max.
Oh,
without meaning to. How to get to the social media page that Lisa did for us.
All right.
You know what I'm going to do next? Because of course I'm going to check all the sites and info you provided for me.
Yeah.
But I have to, because we learn here so much interesting stuff. I learned, thanks to Chris Ferraiolo, that I could bend a $1 bill to make George Washington have a mushroom head. And I want to do that. So thank you, Chris. That's the best tip of the day.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, he posted in the chat.
Well, did you have another tip to do?
I do have something to do, a call to make.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do. You're going to have to give us all the down low on that when you can. That's exciting that you've made such a great discovery on WikiTree. That's fun.
Yeah. I will share with you maybe next week.
Well, maybe not.
Continued.
It may take a while, but that's great. It's just so exciting to hear about other people doing such great things. So, all right. How do you get to the page? Which page?
To the social media, I guess.
Oh, okay. To the social media page. Go up to go up to Find. Scroll down to Projects. Scroll down to the functional project. To Ambassadors. Then click on the Ambassadors project. Then scroll down on the Ambassadors page. You can actually read this information and join the Ambassadors. And scroll down to the second navigation tab menu. And there you are. You'll be on the social media page where you can get all sorts of information and share stuff. So there you go. Oh,
there's the link. Yeah, right.
There you go. There's a link for you. That is the WikiTree LiveCast for this week. We look forward to seeing you again next week. You guys have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble and enjoy WikiTreeing. Goodness gracious. Vicky's going to be back next week. She will be. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you. Have a great week.